Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Kristin. I'm Kristin Wilkins, registered dietitian at Western Maryland Health System. And I have a very special guest with me today, Morgan Roberts. So Morgan, you want to tell us a little bit about what brought you to Western Maryland Health System?
Sure. Hi, my name is Morgan Roberts and I'm a dietetic intern here at WMHS. And I am currently finishing clinical and community rotations and about to start management.
Nice. Well, welcome. I'm looking forward to cooking with you today.
Thank you.
So as these winter months seem to keep dragging on, Morgan and I thought we would share a couple of those classic one-dish comfort foods with you today. And both of these recipes can be made ahead of time, so they are the perfect dish for busy families. So the first recipe we're going to share with you is one of my personal favorites. It's baked oatmeal. It's something that I can make ahead of time on a Sunday afternoon, and my breakfast is ready for the entire work week. And it's really simple. It's simple to make and it's great all week long. So I'm going to have you help me out, Morgan, with the dry ingredients. We just have 2.5 cups of uncooked rolled oats, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of ground ginger, and that adds a lot of warm flavors to our oatmeal. The recipe calls for one cup of sliced almonds. If you've watched any previous In the Kitchen with Kristin episodes, you know that my favorite nut is a pecan. So when I make this at home, I actually substitute out the almonds for the pecans. So if you have a favorite nut, feel free to substitute it. They work great in this recipe. As Morgan stirs that up, I'm gonna get started on our wet ingredients. So I just have 1 egg that I've lightly beaten, and then 2 cups of skim milk, I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and I'm just gonna give this a quick stir, and then Morgan, I'm gonna have you stir that into your dry ingredients, okay?
Yep.
All right. Give that a quick stir for me.
Looks good.
Now the original recipe calls for a cup of blueberries and a cup of fresh strawberries. But as we know in the winter months, that fresh fruit is a little pricey. So I'm actually using frozen strawberries because they were a little cheaper. But fresh blueberries were on sale in the market yesterday. So I'm using frozen strawberries and fresh blueberries. And I actually like to save a couple blueberries to sprinkle on top to make it look pretty when it's all done. So I'm gonna put these in there if you don't mind giving them a stir, and I'm just gonna save a couple blueberries for on top. All right. And you want to use a smaller baking dish for this recipe. An 8x8 dish works great. And if you just want to dump that in, I've already sprayed that with some cooking spray, so it comes out of the pan nice and easy. Now it looks like it has a lot of water and liquid to it right now, but don't worry about that. Your oats are going to soak up all that extra liquid, and it's going to be delicious when it's all done. So just give that a good spread in the pan. I'll take that bowl for you. Get it all spread out evenly, and I'm just gonna top it with a couple of blueberries. This just gets baked at 375 degrees for about 35 minutes. So if you make this ahead of time like I do on a Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, all you have to do is cut yourself a piece, pop it in the microwave for a couple seconds, and I like to top mine with a little milk. It's a great breakfast before work in the morning.
That sounds good.
All right, Morgan, I can't wait to hear what recipe you brought to share with us today.
So today we have a classic comfort recipe, and it is chicken pot pie. But this isn't your ordinary grandmother's chicken pot pie. This is chicken pot pie with a healthy twist, but it still has the flavors that we all know and love.
Great. One of the things that I always liked about chicken pot pie is that you can pack a lot of vegetables into one dish. So I'm guessing that your chicken pot pie has lots of vegetables in it?
Yes, of course. So first we're gonna start off by lining our pan with some olive oil.
It's a pretty big pot you have there. I'm guessing there's a lot of stuff that goes in there.
There is. So we have 1 medium onion, 2 medium carrot sticks, and 2 celery stalks. And as you can see, these are already finely chopped up. And we're just gonna pour this in our pan, and we're gonna let them simmer until the vegetables become soft. So now that we have our vegetables at a simmer, we're going to add in 1/2 pound of green beans. We're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and a pinch of salt and pepper.
That smells so good.
It really does. And we're gonna stir that all together. And once that's all stirred together, it's time for the creamy mixture of the chicken pot pie. So we're gonna add in 2 cups of skim milk. And Kristin, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna have you mix in 1/4 cup of flour with a cup of chicken broth. And that's going to add the thickening agent to our mixture.
So I'm guessing since you're using skim milk to the chicken pot pie, that it does make a little bit healthier version of the chicken pot pie.
You're right. So we're gonna reduce our caloric intake, our fat intake, and our sodium intake in this recipe.
Nice. All right, I have this all mixed together. Are you ready for it?
Yep, so we're just gonna add the 2 together and continue stirring. Thank you.
So do you bring that to a boil?
So we're gonna bring this to a boil, and then once we bring it to a boil, we are going to turn the heat down to medium and stir for about 2 more minutes. So now that our sauce has become thickened, we are going to add our chicken. So I have 1.5 pounds of cooked diced chicken here. I'm just gonna add it. I have 1 cup of peas and 1 tablespoon of thyme. I'm gonna mix that all together. And as you can see, we have a glass pan here, and we are going to pour our chicken and vegetable mix into a 9x13 pan, and it has already been sprayed with some vegetable oil.
Would you like me to help you with that, Morgan?
Sure.
Awesome. That looks so delicious, Morgan, and so colorful.
It really does. And you're probably wondering, where's the crust?
That's my favorite part of the chicken pot pie, aside from those vegetables.
It is mine too. So we have a couple options here. We could buy our biscuits from the local grocery store, and they'll be in the refrigerated aisle. You could use a mixture, which we are doing today, or you could even use your favorite homemade recipe.
Nice, so a couple options there.
Yeah, we have a couple options. So here we already have our biscuit mix, and we are just gonna lump those into 6 mounds and place them on top of our chicken and vegetable mix.
Was there anything special you did with this biscuit mix, or did you just follow the direction on the box?
Just follow the direction on the box. It's that easy.
Nice. So you said 6 mounds of these?
Yep. And once you are done that, we are going to bake this at 375 degrees for about 20 minutes until the mixture is nice and bubbly and your biscuits are golden brown.
As good as that looks, I never would have guessed that it was that easy to make.
It really is. It smells really good too.
Well, thanks for joining me today. It was a blast cooking with you.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for joining us with this In the Kitchen with Kristin. We hope to see you back next time.